Alright, well, I'm selling the Craftsman LT2000 to this dude, Dave, who's bringing this up to Deposit, New York, upstate. And you know what I sold it for? He stole it from me for 500 bucks. But I gotta get rid of stuff, right? Anyway, Dave's a very cool guy, so you know, I feel good about giving it to him, right? He's not some yahoo that I run into here and there. But it's a good tractor, man. Really good tractor. And he doesn't even have to go get a new battery because I have one in there for him. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Today, I'm going to finally get to this thing. I've had this thing for a couple of months, actually. I got it for free from my friend Nick in Medford. He gave it to me because he says it has no compression. This is a Powermore by Zhongshen. It's a Chinese clone engine. And they put these on MTDs and Craftsmans and stuff like that, lawn tractors. It's a 420cc. I'm thinking it's like 12, 13 horsepower, something like that. And looks great. Looks almost new, you know. Good shape and all that. However, take your hand, spin the flywheel, freely moves, you know. I had remembered that I one time did take off this valve cover just to check out the valves to see if they were super loose, which would probably, you know, contribute to the zero compression that I feel. You know, I mean, literally, look, I could take my fingers and spin it with my fingers. I mean, that's like low compression. But I don't think the connecting rod is busted or anything like that. It's just no compression, you know? So that could be a number of things. It could be an extremely scored piston, busted rings maybe, could be bent push rods, it could be the valves wide open and sticking, right? But after I took this off, it didn't seem like that, you know? So I really don't know. I mean, unless it's just engineered so great that you know, can just, the lubrication is so good that you can just spin it with your hands, you know. I doubt it though, but it's complete. It has a starter on it back here, and you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to just jump the starter and see if it cranks. Maybe shoot some spray into the carburetor and see if it starts up, you know. That's what I plan on doing. If and you know what, I'll do a compression test too. Use my compression tester. That is, if I could successfully get the battery to plug onto the starter. But anyway, I'll do that. I can't work on this Pete Lombardi LT1000 yet because while my starter did come, I'm still waiting for a magneto. Then I'll be working on this one. This one has, this is a Nick from Medford, has no engine. But as you know, I have my 21 horsepower engine that smokes a lot. I still haven't gotten to the rings yet. I'm just looking for a new set of rings and pistons, and that's only because I don't even know if it's that, you know. I'm just going to try it, you know, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on it, so I'm waiting for super cheap pistons or rings. And I think the piston's right. I just need new rings and oil ring. That is the engine I took off of the parted out MTD. I got that for free from Tad Johnson. He said it works. It's missing a starter. But one of my subscribers, Eric Norris, said he's going to send me some starters, which is very cool. I just need you to email me, Eric. When you email me, I'll send you my address. Or leave me your email in the comments, and I'll email you. How's that? Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna take the that was easy. Air cleaner off. This pops right off. Let's see if I can get a battery on here. You know, I'm worried about the kill, right? There could be a kill wire that will not let me to, will not allow me to start it. No, first things first, gotta get the starter going, right? So I'll get my battery charger and hook up the prongs on there and See if we can turn the starter motor. So I've got my battery charger on there, and it's set to battery start, engine start mode. So I'm just going to plug it in. Let's see if it cranks. So the circuit breaker blew, and it seems like it was kind of difficult for it to start, right? It wasn't like spinning freely, you know, very quick. It was actually kind of slow, which is weird, because there's like no compression unless the gears are all messed up. But whatever, I'm going to give it a try. Let's spray some starting fluid into the canal of the carburetor. I'm going to plug in the starter and see if it turns over. Yep, circuit breaker popped on the charger again. So it actually looks like it cranks pretty hard, you know? I'm going to take the spark plug out. I smell gas on the spark plug, and there's some carbon and oil residue buildup on it. I'm going to crank it again and see and if anything shoots out. I'm going to crank it now, see if anything shoots out. Alright, so nothing shoots out, but it spins pretty freely, you know what I mean? So I guess it does have some compression, right? Let me hook up the compression tester. Here's my compression tester. I got it on eBay for $8. That's pretty cheap. Okay. Set to 0. See how much it cranks. If I'm reading that correctly, it has 0 compression, or maybe 5. No, like 2 psi of compression. God damn it, is that? How is that possible, man? 0 compression? Terrible. I stuck the spark plug back into the boot, but I didn't put it in. Let's see if we have any spark. It's inside here, so it's dark. See if we see any spark. There was spark, but I wanted you guys to see it. Did you guys see it? There was spark. So, just gonna show you guys that the connecting rod is not busted. You just stick a screwdriver in here. There you go. Turn the flywheel and it moves. Connected. It's just no compression at all. So I'm thinking the valves are stuck open. So let's take this cover off again and dig deeper. To remove the valve cover, it's 10mm. All Chinese engines are mostly 10mm because they copy the Japanese, the Hondas, and actually Kohler uses 10mm a lot too. See how that just pops off like that? Dry, good gasket, good bolts. Seems brand new. I'm turning them. This one seems to move freely, opens and closes. This one here opens, closes. Here, I'll even plug it in. You guys can watch it move around. I mean, you know, it seems fine. Let's get it top dead center. I remember I did the valves. And they're good. It's not like overly loose. Seems like it's to spec. Close to it anyway, right? I mean, I guess I could loosen this and check out the rods, you know, the push rods, to see if they're bent. Because if one of them was bent, right, even slightly, it would keep one of the valves open too long or too or close it too tight, or no, it would keep it open all the time, you know, and that would be the lack of compression, you know. But you normally wouldn't get bent rods unless you had some kind of connecting rod failure, you know? You know what, man? I mean, there's no compression, so I got to take this thing apart and at least take off the head so we can check that out. You know, that's what I'll do. I'm going to take the head off. So cool little bolts. Of course they're different size for the front ones. Of course they are. It would be too easy if it was all the same. I'm sure they want to use 1/2 inch now. Actually, it's a little bigger than a little smaller than 1/2 inch. But it'll work. Of course there's another one. And it's attached to the air filter cover. 10mm. All right. Just a magneto. It gets spark. Right. See how easy this is to turn? Well, got no other choice. Nowhere to go but in, right? Got to check out the head. Got to check out the push rods and the valves, and the only way you can see all that stuff and the condition of the cylinder wall as well as the piston and rings is if you take the head off. Got to take the head off. The only way to access the bolts is 5/16 on the tins on the outside. It's surprising to see 5/16 on here. I'm just gonna bend this. I'm just gonna bend it like Henry. You can see the bolts. I might have to take the carburetor off, or I could just have it dangling like this. I can see it's only 4 head bolts. Only 4. It's pretty surprising. It's actually 9/16, believe it or not. You know, definitely not going to work because this is torqued down to a specific specification that my Black & Decker impact driver is not going to be strong enough to get torqued down bolts. So this is a quarter-inch. This is a quarter-inch impact gun that I love, and as you guys have seen it, I think I paid $60 for it a while back. I've been using this in all my videos. It's really saved my elbow. I don't get tendonitis anymore, and it really cuts down on the time. You know, it really speeds up everything. I really love it. It's great, but it's not as strong as others. You know, like a Milwaukee or a DeWalt or something like that. And I've always wanted a DeWalt, only because I have an electric plug-in DeWalt drill, and I always find that that works great. You know. So I finally ordered one. I got the 3/8 one. So it has a 3/8, you know, square driver on the end, so I can put 3/8 bolts on there. That's what I really want to do. That has a lot more, that's a lot stronger. So I'll be able to use that. So I have that Harbor Freight Tools electric impact, the 1/2-inch one. So I've got the 1/2-inch one, I've got this 1/4-inch one, and the only thing on my list that I needed was a 3/8 one, you know, so I can just put sockets onto it and not driver bits to get stuff off. It's only a 12 volt, while this is a 20 volt. They have the 20 volt ones too, but they're like almost triple the price. I think I saw it at $289. So I just got the 12 volt one. It comes with 2 batteries, which I thought was a great deal, you know, because they usually don't come with 2 batteries. Damn. That's really on there, man. Nothing a hammer won't fix. See, now if I had my 1/2-inch DeWalt, I bet you my DeWalt would be able to get this off. Maybe. I'm going to get a breaker bar instead. It's easier. Got my 5-inch. I'm sorry, did I say 5-inch? My 1/2-inch breaker bar with an adapter for the 3/8 socket. It's all about leverage, fellers. There we go. The other 2 are inside the valve cover, where the valves are, the springs. And number 4. It's really on there. Now my impact should be able to get it off since it's looser. Instead of standing there trying to get it off. Impact. See how much faster that is? Work smart, not hard. And the final one, the head should be off. I think it's attached to the carburetor, so it's going to be heavy. Huh. I can tell it's broken loose already, but it's still not loose. Unless the carburetor's holding it. Carburetor is attached to it, but it's very heavy because mufflers on it too. Is there another bolt somewhere that I'm missing? Possibly. Yeah, all the stuff is attached to the throttle, so let me get that off. Remove the carburetor. 10mm. Breather hose. Fuel solenoid. I love fuel solenoids. No, I don't. I hate them. Oh, this is going to cause me to get my hands dirty. No, that's that. That's the ground for the solenoid tins. No, you still can't get it off. Carburetor. Jeez. Gotta get that off, but how am I gonna get that off? Sucked. Alright, I got the head off along with the muffler attached to it. Alright, let's take a look at this. Here is the one of the push rods. The top one, I believe. And it does not appear to be bent. It looks straight. Here's the bottom one. Bottom one appears to be straight also. And they're both identical. Steel. With the Briggs, one's aluminum. Here's the head and the valves. I'm using my fingers to turn the valves, and they're not moving, even though there's no pressure on them. So it's good. Really odd so far. I'm checking out the cylinder walls now. Let me let you see. There's the cylinder wall. There is a pretty good score, actually. Another good score on this side too. Top is smooth. This right side wall is smooth until the bottom. The bottom left is a groove here. And if you move up a little bit more, there's another pretty deep groove here. So I think that's it. The cylinder walls are scored. That would be enough to cause no compression. Because if you can feel it with your fingers, right, then it's, look, it freely moves, and you can see that it's Earl that's leaked past the rings. See? I mean, you're gonna get some oil, but there's a pretty good amount of oil. It's just so smooth there, you know, because of the grooves. So what happened was, if you look at the evidence, if you look at the head, while it's clean around it, right, there's heavy carbon buildup on this part right here, this valve. Lots of carbon buildup. See? Chunks of it, right? So some of these chunks break off, and during the high-speed movement of the piston going in and out, some of that stuff gets trapped there near the rings, and it just scratches the walls along with the moving piston. It's just scratching it. And prolonged scratching will cause grooves in the cylinder wall and cause it to be scored. So unless you rehone this, which I'm not going to do, it's a Powermore by Zhongshen. Come on. I'm not going to do that. Look. Look how much oil is still coming through the rings. See what I'm saying? A lot of carbon too. See the carbon chunks there? That's what it is. So it makes sense, you know. And this thing doesn't have any oil in it, and yet there's still oil coming out of that area, right there. You can see that there's the oil mark is right where the grooves are. That one's pretty good. I'm going to take you off the tripod and show you close up on the scoring. So there's the area I'm talking about. I'm going to wipe it down so you can see. Let me remove the head gasket. By the way, this is still a perfect head gasket. Probably sell it. That's right, some nut out there with the Powermore Zhongshen engine may want a head gasket. Oh yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, it's really bad. You see it now? Oh boy. Now that I see it on camera, those are some really serious marks. Yeah. You guys see that? That's probably the worst right there. That's really bad. This engine, let's say it together, guys, is Dunsky. That's a shame. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tear it apart. Sell the parts on eBay. You guys remember this MTD thing I found on the street when I was gonna go pick up that LED light in Bohemia? Can you believe it? I listed it for $75 and some nut wants to buy it for $60. I says, okay, $60. It runs well. After you prime it. $60 is $60, you know what I mean? Ooh. It's like like finding $60 on the street. I have this thing. This has been pretty cool. Beats ratchet straps for sure. I think it's really designed for a pickup truck. But works well for vans too. So I need a battery for one of these two tractors, right? I don't have one. I have this car battery that's been sitting around my garage for like 10 years without moving. I currently have a lawnmower, brand new Everstart U1RT7 that I got for $22 at Walmart, brand new. But that's powering my winch, so I'm going to grab that out and put in one of these tractors, right? Then I have this car battery that, like I said, 15 years or something sitting in my garage. I just put the multimeter on it. After 15 years, it had 12 volts. Just 12, not 12.4, which is what you need for a start. So I'm just doing a trickle on it and see if it holds. When I come back from selling that MTD, I'm going to do a time lapse on disassemble of this engine. Some good parts there. It's got a voltage regulator, a starter, cover, flywheel, magneto, carburetor, intake manifold, muffler, head, valves, piston. It's just the engine block is bad. That's it. But a lot of good parts there. Maybe make more money than what the engine's worth. So I'm back. Easy. 5 minutes. Met the lady at the church. Showed her the mower, started up for her. Gave me $60. Off we went. Ka-ching! Scores! I'm gonna hyperlapse me disassembling all this stuff. Okay? There we go. Completely disassembled this Powermore 420cc engine made by Zhongshen. So I've got a lot of good parts here. I'm going to list all these separately. Engine cover. Grass mesh. I don't know about the filter. Filter cover. Gefilte fish. Throttle bracket. And intake manifold. Head gasket. Head with spring valves and rocker arms. Valve cover and the bolts. Isolation tins. Muffler. Flywheels always fetch a good penny. Blower fan. Voltage regulator. Dipstick. Cletus, you dipstick!
Cletus, you know what you are? You're a dipstick. A 14-karat dipstick.
Carburetor. Stator wiring harness attached to the magneto. starter. Camshaft. Camshaft has a very unique compression release. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I've never seen that. Governor shaft. Look at this camshaft. Look at that bearing. That is smooth. Pretty cool. There's no damage to it. It's a perfectly good camshaft. Perfectly good connecting rod. This has got to be pretty valuable. This is going to be worth more than the whole engine itself. Okay, check this out. So here's the piston A. A. Oh shit. Alright, just look at it. Look at that. See the damage there? The oil ring slipped off and created a lot of damage. That's the middle one, but the oil ring was actually over that area. That's what caused the scoring, especially that part there. This piston, say it together, is Dunsky. There we go, right there. Yeah, so this piston is Dunsky, but and that's what caused the walls to be all scraped up, scored. That piston just slid right out. No pressure whatsoever. Just slid right out. So I'm gonna chuck the engine block because it's all scored. I'm gonna chuck the piston. Whoop. Here's the sump cover. It's in good shape. Probably sell this. Oil pump. Oil slinger. It's cool. If you guys haven't seen a Powermore engine's innards, here they are. Courtesy of Mowers and Blowers. I've never seen one either. So this is a new one for me too. It's kind of cool. Plastic. Oil pump and oil slinger. Gasket's still good. Really good. This gasket's made out of rubber. It's rubbery. Good shape. Really good shape, like new. It's made well. Better than the cork stuff on those Kohlers. That's actually good quality gasket. I don't know about the plastic oil pump gear and oil slinger, but that crankshaft's pretty cool. Heavy duty, man. Really smooth. Sharp gears. Oh, so, I don't know what that is. I think this is like a counterbalance, you know, synchro balancer. I can just tell from this weight here, you know, syncs with that. Pretty well designed, actually. Tappets. So I've got some good parts here to list. I'll be busy listing these, for sure. And, while I did get this out of the way, right, it was sitting in my garage and just wondering why it had no compression. Well, we found that out today, right? So the rings moved from probably carbon deposits, causing it to scrape the walls of the cylinder, which made it have no compression whatsoever. That's the reason. I'm glad we found that out, and I'm going to list these parts on eBay. Make some money. Making money. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode of what's in the Powermore Zhongshen 420cc engine made for a Craftsman riding mower, lawn tractor. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at MowersBlowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next vlog. Have a great day.